So, next question.
Yeah.
So, our second question is from Parmadude Gaming.
Hey.
And it's, why have you guys never done your own subtitles with the voiceovers like Definimo did in his Abridged video?
Oh.
So I think this one's more for me to...
Yep.
Because I edit the series. And I do like Definimo's Banjo-Kazooie, and he did Banjo-Tooie as well, I think in like 3 parts. But no, I like his style. I like how distinct his style is, like, compared to ours. Like, that's what I mean when we were talking about the Zelda series, is that I feel like our 2 series can coexist because they're just so different. Like, if he was trying to do the exact same thing, then it'd draw a lot more direct comparisons, and, yeah. But anyway, no, I like how he produces them, and they're always very polished. But I think the main reason we don't do the subtitles, we don't, go over the boxes at the bottom, is because when we started, we were based off Adam West Lapdogs, and he was just, whenever he had Navi and Link talking, sometimes Link wasn't wearing the same colour tunic, he just used that recycled footage and looped it.
Yeah,
and that's kind of what we based it off of. And then...
he does make a comment about it in one of his episodes, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Like, when he linked in Wind Waker, was it?
Yeah, it's
That
so
was
inconsistent.
Yeah.
And he always makes fun of his own laziness and editing. Like, Adam West Lapdog's so lazy, he would he put his head out the window so the wind would blow his nose for him or something like that. But yeah, it's basically because it was inspired by that. And when I did see Definimo's video for the first time, I thought, oh, that's quite a nice touch. But honestly, because we'd been doing it one way, I didn't see the point in changing. And also, in a shorter form video like that, it's probably more worthwhile. But in a longer form, all it would do is mean that the episodes took longer, because I'd be busy writing out the script and doing all that kind of editing rather than just concentrating on the episodes.
Sometimes doing the episodes can take long enough.
Yeah, like whilst I've been at university, it's been like finding the odd evening to do editing here and there, and I think it would just slow down the production, and I don't think it would add enough. Yeah, Vicky helps. She edits as well now.
Sometimes.
So I hope that's kind of a satisfactory answer to that one, because I do like the way, whilst I have done things to improve the way that things get edited over time, like, that was just something it would have felt like copying him to do it in a way, and our style was kind of distinctly different. So yeah, I hope that's kind of answers the question. So anyway, before we go into the third and final question, we're just gonna talk some more about the games in general, and go over our favourite and least favourite levels. So this can be, let's keep it to Kazooie and Tooie for levels, because I don't know all the levels in Nuts and Bolts, but you can bear in mind they're probably all near the bottom of this list anyway.
Yeah, I've got to admit, I've got no other levels apart from
the levels
Tooie
in
and Banjo.
The levels in Grunty's Revenge, Nutty Acres, I remember being all right, but because of the isometric game, the top-down kind of viewing gameplay, don't think it's isometric. Yeah, no, it's not isometric. They're just difficult to navigate anyway, and there's not much to them.
Now, when we were discussing this part of the talk, hands down, I think we can both agree that our favourite level in the games is...
Would you say it's your favourite from both games?
Yes.
Ah.
Would you say different?
I'm trying to think now, because... So if we cover Banjo-Kazooie just for this point, our favourite Banjo-Kazooie level, we both basically said at the same time when we're discussing this before we sat down for a record, Click Clock Wood.
Because it's amazing, and if you don't like
four different seasons.
It's the 4 different seasons, and it's the same level, but the fact how they change it to fit each season, and the fact that you can't go through one door until you do one of the seasons, and each effect in each season's like the thing with the bird.
Mm-hmm.
It affects each season to gain jiggle piece.
A jiggle piece.
Jiggle. Puzzle.
Jigsaw piece.
Jigsaw piece.
Or a jiggy.
But I just love the artwork and the way it's developed, and it's I'm right in saying it's a final level before Grunty.
It's the last level of Banjo-Kazooie.
It's kind of an epic one to kind of before the big boss, and like the thing with the beaver dam, the plant growing, just everything, the squirrel and the tree with the snow and everything. I just love all the. It's the one I remember the most.
Yeah, I've had a think, and I'd say that's probably my favourite of the 2 games. Cause
Yeah.
you were saying that's 2 games.
I said it automatically. Ha.
Yeah, no, I had to think back because I wasn't sure whether Witchy World.
Witchy World is pretty good.
I'd say Witchy World is my favourite 2 level, but I don't think I prefer it more than
Click Clock Word.
Click Clock Word. Other good levels. To be honest, Banjo-Kazooie has mostly good levels.
I just like how they all commit to the concept of the level, and why I especially liked in Tui over the original one is the fact that something from, was it the mine level, goes into Witchy World, the spaceship.
Yeah,
So
it has
the
a
fact-
lot more of that interconnectivity between levels.
Yeah, which I really appreciate. Like the build up, so you can't do this until you unlock this level, and it all kind of links in with each other, which I can really get behind.
So other levels I like Hellfire Peaks, love it. Like I like the fire ice dynamic, and as a result, neither half is too big.
Cloud Cuckoo Land.
See, Cloud Cuckoo Land, I like how it looks, but the jiggies themselves are difficult to get.
But I like the idea of Evil Mumbo.
Yeah, I do
I
like.
thought that was a nice concept.
I like the Evil Mumbo concept, but for example, I think I said. It's on. I can't remember whether it was responding to a comment or something like that, or whether it was in a description of an episode. I was like, yeah, there's going to be a bit of sequence breaking and a bit of rewriting what order you have to do things in for Click Clock Wood, because otherwise you couldn't tell a sensible narrative. Because one of the jiggies, just to get there, is like you have to go with Banjo and put an egg somewhere, and then Kazooie needs to hatch the egg. Then Banjo needs to use the floaty thing to go over and plant the seed. Then Mumbo needs to do the rain dance to water the seed to make the beanstalk. And then Banjo can go up there, and it's to challenge Mr. Fit to the sack race. And I was like, there is no way, there is no sensible narrative where Banjo's like, you go now. No, I'll go back. Then you go. Then. So I think we ended up simplifying it an awful lot.
And well, we just kind of skipped it, didn't we? We kind of just focused on the
races.
races themselves. Come to lose, fool!
If by lose you mean win, then yes.
Your trash talk is awful!
Or you've got a silly nose. And that's the thing that I think, unfortunately, boiled over into ukulele is like rather obscure objectives where there's not obvious what you need to do. Because to be honest, playing through some of those TUI levels for the first time, some of those objectives would have been so you wouldn't have known to hatch the thing, to do the thing, to do the thing, to do the it'd have been purely by luck.
What else is there?
And yeah, I think that's. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and say my least favourite from both games now, and we'll see if you agree.
Well, I've got one that I think is my least favourite.
Probably.
So in Banjo-Kazooie,
Yeah?
probably Rusty Bucket Bay,
Can we
Yeah.
just settle this over?
because
Why?
it's
Nope. I honestly thought that,
the
but-
engine room basically. It's instant kill. The thing is, I love the music, and I even quite like the design. And
That's the sandcastle one, isn't it?
Rusty Bucket Bay is the ship in the harbour.
Oh, yes. Sorry. I'm getting confused between
Treasure
them.
Trove Cove, we were
That's the
thinking of.
one.
No, I do like Treasure Trove Cove. It's a nice, fun level. Yeah.
But the Rusty Bucket Bay.
Yeah, it's the engine room basically, and like the oily water's a bit of a pain in the ass. Like I don't hate it, it's just probably my least favourite if I had to pick one.
See, what's the one you said?
I don't know.
The sandcastle one?
Let's try that.
Treasure Trove Cove.
See, that might be my least favourite.
What, from Kazooie?
Banjo one.
What in general?
No, not out of both of them,
okay,
but out
good.
of Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah.
Just because I don't like the shark. The shark is mean, and it means I can't go in the water, and I don't like the shark. And the bucket's weird, and the crab is weird.
See, that's probably one of my higher. It's definitely in the top half, because in the bottom half, you'd probably find Clanker's Cavern, because it's just a bit awkward at the beginning to free the shark free the iron whale from the.
Yes, yeah, the swimming level.
I like Bubble Gloop Swamp.
Yeah, I like that one. I like the frogs.
I like the Freeze Easy Peak.
Yep.
And I even like the Halloween level.
See, that would be on my bottom ones again, just because I feel they could have done so much more.
You reckon?
Yeah,
I think
they do bits to do with Halloween.
my criticism of it is that
I am insecure about myself.
it's not always obvious what you need to do, especially when you become a pumpkin. And it took me ages when I was younger to work out how you got certain bits as a pumpkin, and it requires a lot of planning to do properly. But apart from that, I like its design. I love its music.
I like its design and music, but I just felt that with the Halloween concept, you've got a spooky house, yeah, sure, you've got a kind of spooky maze, but they could have gone so much more with the spookiness, even if they'd, I don't know, just opened up the concept a bit more.
Okay, that's
Got like a
interesting.
spooky book or some like witches that had something that they needed them to get, or just brought in some more
Yeah.
characters. And literally the only big baddie in that level is the ghost, and that is quite easily defeatable. So I was just a bit disappointed that there wasn't more. Like, even if there was a cousin of Grunty's in there, she was kind of like, "What are you doing in here? Go away. Go get me some fish or something." And then you get fish and put it in the cauldron. I don't know. But you know what I mean? Like, or like
Yeah, I know what
vampires,
you
or
mean.
there's so many concepts of Halloween that you could have put in there, and you stick with the spooky house.
Yeah, I do get what you mean. It was could have been done more.
So that's my reasoning.
Ironically, those are the Rusty Bucket Bay and the Mad Monster Mansion ones are the episodes that I think I'd do again, like do very differently going back through our Abridged series, just because I think that's probably more we could have done. But at the same time, like you say, both those levels have not very many NPCs, and all the objectives are quite obscure, so
Yeah.
it becomes very difficult to write a good episode.
Yeah, like pooing in a bucket. Wait, no, have I got the wrong one again?
Pooing in the toilet.
Oh, yes.
There is a bit of an episode where we do have Banjo pooing in the toilet.
Yeah.
Because he comes across Logo, which is just terrible.
It is just terrible.
It's probably
What
one of the
about-
most childish jokes in the entire series.
But what about Tui? Which one? Which
My
level?
least favourite level in Tui, probably Grunty's Industries.
I was going to say the same.
Just
Because... well,
it's so
there you go.
difficult to navigate.
I think it's just a boring concept. Like, again, they have this big industrial thing, sure. They've got these robots, yeah. Then you turn into a washing machine and wash clothes.
I don't know, that's a kind of fun little quest, I think, when you just go around washing everyone's clothes. But the bunnies are really difficult to find, and they're a bit... Because you have to use the service elevator, you can't use warp pads, it's just...
And, like, some of the service elevators will only go certain height, and then you're kind of, like, stuck by these, you know, the robots, and it's just not one of my favourite ones.
No.
Yeah. I just was a bit kind of like... one of those levels that you just want to get past. Can't really just enjoy the moment.
Yeah. It's, it was a...
Whereas Witchy World, where you have to, like, you know, you've got...
It's nice and open, and each
You got the
themed
tent.
world...
You've got Mr. Patch.
Yeah.
And each theme world had, like, completely in that theme. But
Oh.
still felt carnival.
I think Mr. Patch was one we managed to do quite close to the voice, because we heard him like, oh!
Yeah.
Although that reminds me, this is completely a different level character, but the only time Vicky's ever had to leave the room whilst I've been recording was in the garbage can in Cloud Cuckoo Land.
It was so funny.
Because
Funny.
I was going for exact what the voice clips
didn't
are, which is
leave.
basically blowing raspberries.
I didn't leave. I had to put my fingers in my ears and not look at him and then he tapped me on my shoulder when he finished because it was hilarious and I could not stop laughing. And then that made him laugh and it makes the episode 10
Yeah.
times longer. So it was like the best. It stinks in here.
Hey, I don't think it's your house.
This is your house?
Yep. Name's Guffo the Can. And I live in this larger can. Yeah. Trying to think about how I rate the other TUI levels. I think most of them are pretty good. I think at times they can be a bit difficult to navigate, but
I like
most of them are just the right size and they have the right number of walk pads.
I like the first one, Mayhem Temples,
Yeah, it's like Mayhem.
because it's quite a simple level, because of course it's your first level, but at the same time I like how everything is very you feel like you're in an Aztec kind of
Yeah.
world, and you get to be the big one and go stamping through the everything.
Yeah,
And you've got a little temple at the front, at the top, where you feel a bit Indiana Jones with your kazooie gun,
yeah.
imaginary hat if you're playing like me. But yeah, it felt quite good.
Yeah.